everyone.
Happy 1 year to the Batman.
That's right. Happy anniversary to the release of the Batman. I'm gonna just assume Kyle still has not seen it, but
Nope, you're right.
so quick shout out to Realm Edit X. This is where I got most of the video. Uh-oh.
It ends on my favorite scene, which is deploying the bat chute.
I'm getting to love that car more and more. Like my favorite Batmobile, like I loved the classic 66.
Yeah.
The Tumbler changed my mind about everything. Love that one, but this car is just fucking cool. Like I really dig this Batmobile, and I hope it stays the same style throughout. He just adds more gadgets.
I think it will.
It needs more fins.
Eat the logo.
It needs the big bat mask logo on the front, like
from the old sedan.
What's that thing called at the front of the trucks? The cow, whatever. Like,
the cow pusher, the cow mover, or whatever.
Yeah, whatever that thing is.
Yeah.
Anyways, if that, I mean, I was gonna say, I don't know if I heard me because I think I was having some issues with my connection, but. So that edit I was actually from Realm Edit X on YouTube. I just added some of the scenes at the end.
Nice.
So go check out their channel. It's called Metamorphosis. Pretty cool Batman edit. And then, like I said, I just added a few of my favorite scenes. I love that scene with the parachute when he fails to land.
Yeah, I love that. That's my favorite.
And hopefully, maybe this changes Kyle's mind, and maybe he'll watch it someday.
Maybe someday.
You should watch it, Kyle. It's good.
Someday.
We should host, okay, you know what we should do? We should just host a rewatch in our new community on Discord. Anyone who wants to come in, we'll just watch the Batman with a group of people.
We'll just carve out 3 hours of our day to watch the Batman together.
I got nothing but time.
That's the part that'll, I think, aligning our schedules to all. You know what? I think we'll just do it. We'll go to Josh's class. And we'll just are your classes back to back?
They are.
Okay, so we'll just have it's gonna suck for the second and third class because they'll only get to watch the middle part and or the end.
Well, actually my classes are roughly 90 minutes. So if the first class sticks around, it's the second class is gonna get screwed. But.
Okay. How's the Wi-Fi at the college? Pretty good?
It's all right. Yeah.
You can support our stream.
I don't know about that. They may lock it down. They're getting very, very tight with security, let's say.
Excuse me.
They should have already been tight with security. They have a lot of info.
Well, let's say tighter. So
my taxes pay for that Wi-Fi. I better have access to it. I think. Well, maybe not my taxes. Somebody's taxes that I know.
Yeah, I think I have decided to watch a few movies in our new Discord theater. So
that's a great idea.
Yeah. So anyone who joins our Patreon, I mean, even at just $1, we're going to start screening some movies in the NIP theater that we have in Discord.
Good.
It still took me a while to parse that one. It's like, are we showing like 80s like skin flicks? What are we doing here?
It's just gonna be Joel Schumacher's Batman.
That's not bad.
Welcome to NIP Theater.
It's not good either.
Yeah. With that being said, Clay, good segue. So we are redoing our Patreon tiers. Thanks to the current patrons.
Yeah.
We'll make sure that, I mean, I think you get a notice or whatever when prices change. So, if you want to reevaluate, we're really shaking things. We're shaking the nest, the beehive. Hopefully we don't get stung too bad. And all our patrons are like, oh, I forgot about this charge. Bye.
But I guarantee you, I'm going to stream some stuff in there that is hard to find. The Gen X TV movie that Marvel did in the 90s. I got a copy of it.
Yeah,
I've got a copy of the Power Pack TV series they did in the 90s, just the pilot, because it only made it through a pilot. So just any kind of cool, weird shit.
It's going to be just the Wonder Woman pilot for NBC.
Wonder Woman, that'll be the first one I put up. So
you got to get the 70s Doctor Strange movie.
I have it. It's on my Plex.
Dr. Mordred back to back.
Yeah,
we'll figure out all that, but you can also see
and then finish off with David Hasselhoff's Nick Fury.
Oh,
yes,
God, yeah.
It is so weird that the girl, I forget who's the character. I guess it's Val.
Yeah, it's Val.
Isn't it Val?
Val.
Okay, that's in the TV movie is a real housewife.
No, really?
It's
Which
Leah
one?
Remini. I mean, she was an actress before, but she's now on Real Housewives.
Oh,
That's fucking
funny.
weird.
I had no idea.
I
what
thought you
publicity.
meant like from the TV show, the Housewives TV show with
Yeah.
Barry Hatcher. And
Oh no! I'm talking about the reality show. Leah
was that
Remini
called?
played Nick Fury's assistant in the David Hasselhoff Nick Fury.
Valentina Allegra, the whatever.
Yeah. The
AKA
Julia Louis Dreyfus is
Julia
playing?
Louis. Yeah, Julia Louis Dreyfus. Cool. So yeah, we play that intro because it is the 1 year anniversary of the Batman, but we're not talking about the Batman today as much
Thank
as I
God.
would love to. We do have a whole show about that with, I believe my buddy Mike joined us for that one, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so, yeah.
Go check that out in the channel. Also, just a few announcements while I have people's attention and they're not. Hopefully, they're watching. We got a couple new things in the channel. You might have seen that we launched a new show called Ravens of Everkeep with some of my friends from the KLC Substack, where we're just gonna go. It's a Vanish show, so it's all about the comic book Vanish from Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman. Thanks to everybody that watched. A lot of people watched right away. We did get to announce it in the stream with Ryan Stegman on Wednesday, which is really cool. Like we showed him the video, and he's like, "Oh, that's cool." So I'm sure that helped. And then this weekend, I should be doing another show. It won't be live, but we'll be talking about some of our favorite comics and stuff with a friend from TikTok. So stay tuned for that. And then much other programming that whatever we come up with, we'll just throw it on the channel, see what sticks. That's a good approach to running an entertainment network, I think. Just
try some shit.
It's worked for networks for years. Trust me, we've all seen those sitcoms that I'm like, the fuck is this?
That's how we got My Mother the Car. That's how we got
Shasta McNasty. Homeboys in Outer Space.
That might be a good topic for later on in the year. Just to let's go back and look, because I love talking about sitcoms and I love talking about failed sitcoms even more.
Oh, yeah.
UPN had the best failed sitcoms because they were all inappropriate and terrible.
Well, all right. That stay tuned later on in the year. We'll definitely talk about that. But today we are talking all about Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, or how I like to refer it, Kangtomania.
Kangtomania.
Yes.
I don't know. At one point, I swear to God, I was watching Tron Legacy again.
Yeah.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong because, as my very informed review on Letterboxd states, it's one of the better Star Wars movies.
So, for anyone that hasn't watched the movie, and I think at this point, anybody that's gonna watch it has seen it. Everybody else is just waiting for the Disney Plus drop.
Yeah, exactly.
But
it dropped off week 2
in
terms of like sales. So,
and I'm going to say this right now: I had more fun watching this than I did Love and Thunder.
Interesting. We'll get into that. So we'll have spoilers. Just that was where I was going. So we'll have spoilers for it.
Wait.
Yep. I'll be sure. I had more fun watching this than I did Love and Thunder.
Clay cannot believe it.
I'm kind of a Clay on this one.
You start us off then. Tell us about that.
I don't know. Love and Thunder. It felt like an Ant-Man movie. It felt like fun, and then plus we got a villain who I actually care about again. And then with Kang, and I think he told the show. And then 2, it's just. Oh, and I'll say this. I actually rewatched Wakanda Forever again with a friend a few weeks ago, and I have now a newer appreciation for the movie and a newer appreciation for Namor. So I'm looking forward to see what they might do with him.
All right.
Yes.
But I don't Love and Thunder.
I'm curious. Does Namor deserve his own movie?
Well, I don't know. Okay, so if the rumors I read somewhere yesterday are true, Universal might be trying to sell Hulk and Namor back to Disney.
Wait, they still have Hulk?
Yeah,
I didn't realize that. Jesus.
Yeah, that's the reason we haven't had a Hulk movie. Yeah, but there's a rumor that they may be trying to sell it back, so they do. And there's another thing, like even they interviewed the actor who played Namor, and he goes, "Yeah, I would love him," but they've already announced he's going to be in the Kang films, and he says, "I would love it if I could become an Avenger." So we get Namor as an Avenger. I mean, I loved reading him in the Avenger comics during the '80s. Throughout there, and I think it would be awesome.
I think he's an Illuminati member. He's too. I don't see him as a.
No, we could get.
He wasn't. When I first read comics,
the invaders get together to save us from Secret Wars.
Ooh.
Because the invaders is a group that comes together out of necessity. And I think you got some pretty cool. You got some pretty cool. I mean,
but then you also have the fact, he was also a founding member of the Defenders, the original Defenders. If we have the Hulk, Doctor Strange, Namor come together.
Yeah, the weird roster of the Defenders, not this new one another one that Netflix gave us.
Wait, hang on. I'm sorry. The OG Defenders roster versus whatever the fuck Netflix gave us. So
okay. I love what Netflix gave us because I have that in the comics too. But the OG, he's right. The OG, it's like the OG team of the Guardians, not the weird thing that Marvel gave us later that made these films.
All right. So I do want to say I'm normally very positive when it comes to media.
Yes.
But Quantumania was not a good movie. It just I was entertained.
Wow. I'm not gonna go there. No.
I just don't think it's not a cohesive story because it's all CGI. Like it takes a while to get used to it, and some of the effects they don't look as good as I think they could.
They spent a lot of time in CGI world. So it looked like a DC movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fair, or again, a Star Wars movie. I mean, I was getting tons of Star Wars vibes from this, and
Quantumania is better than Attack of the Clones.
Oh God, yeah,
yeah. but that is the worst Star Wars movie. So like, that's not saying much.
Wait. Attack of the Clones.
Phantom Menace is the worst.
Phantom Menace is the worst Star Wars.
No. Phantom Menace is better than Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Kyle.
No,
come on.
There is one Star Wars movie you can skip. It is Phantom Menace.
No, Attack of the Clones.
And Miss Darth Maul, get out of here.
Darth Maul is totally wasted. I mean, he is the Boba Fett of that movie. He is all hype and looks cool.
I agree.
But fails to deliver.
Everybody out there in TV land, I've said it before. Phantom Menace is the best of the prequel films.
Duel of the Fates, that's not accurate either. But
I've said it before in the show, and you guys are still giving me shit.
No, episode 3
exactly. It's going to be the third one.
Yeah, it's the third one.
It's the third one. Yeah,
if the third one was a half hour longer, I might give it, but there's still things I don't think they should have shown that would have made that film a better film.
No,
you guys are three good scenes from Phantom Menace.
Pod race, the battle with the lightsaber battle at the end.
Yeah.
And then any scene with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon together.
See, this is another thing that I think
the Obi-Wan show did a better job of telling that story than those three films.
No, I got to give Phantom Menace a little bit higher because we had Qui-Gon in that whole film.
Yeah, Qui-Gon's cool, Darth Maul's cool. Now you guys are nuts
cool, but the payoff in Obi-Wan's better.
You guys are insane with Attack of the Clones.
Yeah,
but you know what?
This is a crap film.
This is not what this show's going to be about.
Danny's going to rewrite the ship here.
Let me go back because we do have Leonard Kim in the chat. I understand it's called Quantumania. I mean, I just think it didn't look as cool as I think it. Like
I had fun with the Quantumania. I had no problem with it.
I will say that I went to the theater and I haven't been to the theater since we went and saw Fast 9, and that was only because you rented out the theater. Like before that, the last movie I went to the theaters to see was Birds of Prey. So I was hyped to see this because I wanted to see the Quantum Realm on the big screen.
That's a pretty good track record up until
the fact you mentioned not Fast 9. Watching the trailer beforehand with Fast 10, I'm just like, oh dear God.
I'm so ready.
If you haven't seen it, we made Josh watch the trailer on a couple episodes ago,
and then try and explain what the plot would be. And I'm still confused.
10 movies in, explain the plot.
Yeah.
So the one last point, because I have a 3-pronged defense against my argument, I guess you'll call it.
Okay.
all the characters are, except for like maybe Kang and Scott, are very one-dimensional.
Oh.
Like they have the
Wasp is useless.
The Wasp is just there for the name and the poster.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I gotta give you that one.
Cassie is I love Cassie's character, but she does not. I don't know what her arc motivation was.
It's all about the relationship with her dad.
Yeah.
I mean, he's lost out on a lot of time, and she's obviously had to pay for it and shows up in jail. And like he doesn't want to go down that path. So I think that's the main story.
And not to mention the fact we're getting a movie with her and her soon-to-be boyfriend. Iron Lad from the Young Avengers.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'm gonna need you to elaborate on that.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. I have a theory that when we have Secret Wars, that we will go into a pocket dimension similar to the first Secret Wars. Like I'm going after the first one, that Kang puts it all together there, and that we get the Young Avengers coming about because all the older ones we know are gone. So suddenly these kids are in charge. What do they do?
That's a hot take. I like it.
We also got another thing. We also got the fact that we now have Kang, which is a great door opener to bring in the FF.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And I am
Nathaniel Richards.
The fact that and I don't know, Danny, I'll pause here so you can add the spoiler comment.
This is a live show. I don't know what you're talking
about. Later, for edit for
I don't edit these
in post. But the fact that we get the Pharaoh version, in the end credit scene, I think I literally turned to my daughter, who has no idea what I'm talking about, and I just said I was right. So,
do we have a screenshot of all the Kangs? The
Council of Kangs or whatever.
Oh my god, that just looks so cool.
Here's one for you: the end scene with Loki and Morbius. With that, do you know what that Kang's responsible for?
His name was Victor, so I wondered if it was related to Doom.
Well, okay, I'm not sure about that, but he is the professor. Okay, so he's technically responsible for the android Human Torch being made.
No,
he's the professor who taught the guy who made the Human Torch. He taught his father, so he would basically. Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking awesome! Maybe we will get the Invaders. That would be so cool.
Yeah,
because we've already had that in the MCU. Remember, it's in a shot in the first Captain America movie.
Yeah.
And the city that he founds, like somewhere in the Midwest, becomes Chronopolis in the future.
Oh, okay.
So, but again, what Daniel said, the Invaders, we have Namor, we have Cap, we have Bucky, we have mutants coming into Toro, and maybe if we get the Human Torch, maybe we might get if it's Secret Wars Battle World, we might get the Invaders kind of.
Okay, I just have to say though, if they do an Invaders, it is even riskier than the original Guardians movie, right? Because that is full on comic book nerd fan service. I mean,
why not? Why not give it a shot? I mean, in Battle,
I'm with you. I agree. Yeah.
I mean, I believe that because most of the teams they've put together have never been the original team, so it's like the original Guardians might be the second Guardians team,
right?
Like they don't use the original Defenders were Netflix. Well, they never really put that together.
Technically, the Avengers isn't the original Avengers, if you think about it.
Yeah, very true. I also have a theory that Janet Van Dyne is a Skrull.
I saw that in the notes. Okay, explain.
We are in a Skrull. Okay, if we take the Skrull time period, they've been here since the 90s. And I asked this in chat: does Wakanda know about Skrulls? Because that seems like they would have the technology to be able to tell of anyone.
If they were looking for it, they're not looking for it. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I know. Because the first time they encounter Namor, they say that this is the first kind of like alien type creature, or he's come from the water that they were very unaware of.
I come from the water.
But I've been reading Secret Invasion, so I'm theorizing of any Skrulls we'll ever see. And my first theory was we're in the quantum realm. We're not going to see a Skrull unless we took a Skrull in. Right. And Janet is very controlling of the story the entire time in this film. It's very strange that she's basically telling them everything and maybe that will endear her to them. But I feel like since we know that the Skrulls have invaded since the 90s, we might have more Skrulls that have never been.
What? What wasn't she in the quantum realm since like the late 70s or 80s or something?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right?
Yeah, that is true. But then, I mean, a scroll could have replaced her, and she could have died.
Like
Maybe.
if there was one already in there.
Yeah,
Well,
I just have a theory that for the scroll invasion to really pay off, they had to have had existed in some of the films we've already seen. Correct?
Maybe.
Quantum Realm would make the argument that there's no way a scroll could be in it because they spend the whole time in the quantum realm. But maybe Janet was, and maybe a scroll has gotten to the quantum realm.
Okay.
I don't know. That's I keep trying to find who I feel like are scrolls in here, and she controlled the main part of the story, which was really fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like she comes in, she doesn't want to talk about stuff. You know, she's very scared of Kang, but it seems like
I can't see her being a scroll because she got zapped into the quantum realm before.
That's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah, but it's who we brought out. Like I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I just feel like she had such control of this, which seemed really weird. Like she drove the narrative the whole time. She comes to that dinner with Bill Murray, which was real fucking weird. And
well, so here's my complaint about is this the MCU movie with the most glaring plot holes ever? Because and this is the thing that really pisses me off.
Eternals.
And I know I say this all the time. This should have been a Disney Plus series. By making it a movie, every single one of the key points of it was not given due justice. I wanted to know about this resistance movement. That Janet set up in the world, right? I wanted to know. I mean, it's like everything was basically set up and then presented to the audience in like one line of dialogue. And I was just so pissed about that because I'm like, dude, show me all this. I want to see this. This sounds awesome. And then the other thing is, I don't know about you guys, but I was angry at the end when Cassie brings them back because it immediately undercut the whole sacrifice that they were making together to get them home.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking as it's leading up to, I'm like, okay, I'm getting now how we're passing it on to the next generation, right? And it was really touching because you're like, the whole point of going in this third film almost entirely ignored the last film. Almost entirely. The look of the quantum realm didn't look right. How come they didn't encounter any of them when they went down there last time? It just like nothing made sense until the end when I was like, okay, I get it now. If this film is them getting trapped there, then that at least resolves a bit of the last film, you know?
I said they didn't see any of them down there is because one, they even mentioned it's like there are different levels, and two, and the second one, they had Janet kind of pinpointing where they needed to go. But this time they kept going and got spread out. And so they had more time to explore the whole area.
I do want to see, first of all, how many of you sat at the theater and counted your holes?
I mean, if I'm being perfectly frank, every morning when I wake up, I know how many holes I have.
I forgot about that.
Let us know down in the comments how many holes do you have, if you're comfortable with sharing that information, because I think everyone shows up with a standard set of holes, but you know things change throughout life. I thought that was funny. I love that was apparently David Desmalchin's voice that was hosting the dude, which is great.
Is he just always going to play a different character, which I kind of love? Like, you know, is this his third MCU character?
I almost wish that they would have done at the
which one?
David Desmalchin, the one that has like the goo, so everybody can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or whatever language.
One.
He was part of XCon.
He was one of the
first one. But he's played somebody else in the MCU, I thought. I know he was in.
He's done 2 DC films.
He did Suicide Squad.
Yeah, and Dark Knight.
He was in the Dark Knight.
Oh, Dark Knight. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, he's all over the place. But I also want to see the behind the scenes of Michelle Pfeiffer just like miming, navigating, whatever the fuck. I'm like, and also of
when
Michael
Hank
Douglas.
puts his hands in.
Yeah, Michael Douglas putting his hands in. Look, okay, so I guess I want to go back to my earlier point. I had fun with the movie. I think the movie is entertaining. I just don't think it's a well put together movie. And
Right.
Those are not mutually
those,
exclusive, right? I mean,
exactly. I can understand. This is the one time where I can see like why people say like they don't like this movie. Like it's easier for me to understand it. But I like Jeff Loveness writing. Like he's done a few comics and obviously Rick and Morty and stuff like that. Um, I think the director he kind of owned the Ant-Man trilogy.
yeah.
What's his name? Is it Paul Feige? Paul
No, it
Feig?
was
Paul Feig? Or is that the guy? No, that's the director of The Office.
God damn it. It's
Um,
but yeah, he did all three of
He's
them.
done all three right
Peyton
after
Reed.
Peyton Reed.
Yeah,
But
I mean, if we think about it, if we go back to the original, we could have had an Edgar Wright Ant-Man series.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
that's what disappoints me the most. I do love the first two Ant-Man films.
yeah.
Great comedy. Paul Rudd delivers. The reluctant hero who's a comedian and a father. Those two films are really fun and great to see because he really likes being a dad. And then when you get to this one where he goes to save his kid, I just don't feel like they had the connection. Like,
Yeah. Well, and here's my other complaint about so the first Ant-Man film, solid, right? And it's like it kind of fit that period of the MCU where it's like each film could explore a kind of unique subtext. So it was a heist film, right?
yeah.
2 and 3 Ant-Man movies are all about setting up something else in the MCU.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? That's a disservice to Ant-Man. Just give us a cool Ant-Man movie, right? Now, don't get me wrong. You could give me 90 minutes of just Jonathan Majors being Kang, and I'm fucking there for it. Because he is incredible. But
I'll say the things I've seen him in hasn't had a bad performance ever.
Yeah, no, true. I mean, Lovecraft Country. I mean,
Harder They Fall.
Dude rocks. Like he is just an incredible
I'm
actor.
probably gonna go check out Creed 3 after this sometime today.
Oh, I didn't know he was in Creed 3.
Oh yeah. He's the antagonist. Oh my
shit.
Dude.
So this one, so it feels like 2 was kind of like the mirror of Rocky 4. This one feels like they're mirroring Rocky 3, but instead of Clubber Lang being like some unknown person, Jonathan Majors plays somebody that Adonis grew up with.
Oh, okay.
I hear a lot of people they're comparing it to like a big shonen anime.
Really,
like the whole rivalry, like growing up, like is some of those tropes, which makes sense. Michael B. Jordan's directing, and he's a big fan of anime, so like I'm very excited because I love the Rocky movies. But yeah, Jonathan Majors as Kang is the highlight of Quantumania. Like
yes,
his performance every time he was on screen. Not only they made the goofy Kang look pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Even when he turned blue. Yeah. Even when he turned blue, like it still worked. Which I like that he's not blue all the time, just because I mean Majors has a real interesting presence on screen that I think would have been undercut if he had the CGI all the time. But yeah, his mannerisms, like how his demeanor, how calm he is, and then how he can just flip on it. When he's got both of them in the cells and he's telling Scott that he'll kill his daughter or whatever, which like man, like Ant-Man going up against Kang just feels like not even David and Goliath, like like a literal ant going up against Goliath.
David and the Celestial.
I wanted to ask you guys too, because I saw somebody on TikTok that I follow, they're a big fan of the Fantastic Four, and they said that this was a Fantastic Four movie without the Fantastic Four.
I could absolutely see that.
Yeah.
That makes tons of sense. I mean, the quantum realm is in many ways like the
negative
zone, you know. So
and they put the family together, right?
Yeah.
Which this Hank, which is weird that some people call him Hank, some people call him Henry. I never understand how that is. Like how those two names are the same.
Yeah.
Because I think everyone calls him Hank Pym except Was or
Janet.
Janet calls him Henry.
I will say this: Cassie's got to be careful. She's going to become the new Tony. But if you think about it, she makes this whole damn antenna to contact the quantum realm without thinking about the repercussions.
Well,
Right? Yeah, good point.
Yeah. And
we got a few.
adult
We're trying
there
over
is-
again.
Yeah, the only responsible adult is Michelle Pfeiffer because she knows what's down there.
And even
Everyone
then,
else is like, just
No,
play
no,
with
no,
the
no.
science.
He's responsible, but she won't
she's the
tell
most
anybody. She's
irresponsible. I
holding back.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The only
for not
person
giving him
responsible was
warning.
Hank. It was Scott. Scott was the one, even though they're all giving him shit. He's the one who basically is responsible because it's like he's like saying, "Hey, I want to try to keep my daughter safe." Hank's working with her, and like, well, let's make this whole beacon and see if we can contact anybody without repercussions. Janet's not telling them anything. Like, oh, I was stuck down there, and well, there's this threat. We shouldn't open the quantum realm because he may escape. It's Scott's the one who ends up saving the day again, and he's the one who was like, the one responsible.
And one of my favorite scenes in the movie also was that when he goes into the storm, the quantum storm, and you get like all the Ant-Mans.
Yeah,
like all the different.
That was cool.
Yeah, and then the fact that they kind of like finally focus on one thing, and that's where you can tell like, oh, this is the same guy that worked on Rick and Morty, because Rick and Morty had a similar bit where they had the whole quantum thing, and they would split into different, kind of like how we are into four, like they would keep splitting into all these realities with all the possibilities, right? So you can definitely tell there's a lot, like Jeff Loveness. I think that's the reason they brought him into some of this stuff. I think he's also doing the Kang Dynasty movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
He also, I know he got quoted in a article about how he dealt with MODOK, because he gives MODOK a lot of humor, and he's like, I can't make that guy a serious character. He's a floating head. And I'm like, but there's a body horror element I love to MODOK. There's a really fucked up, like, it is this human who has been shrunk down to quantum size to where his head's giant, and we even see nude MODOK while they're building him.
Yeah,
I will say,
go ahead, Josh. Go ahead.
Well, I will say, okay, so this is the first we've broached the MCU MODOK, right? I was impressed with the through line with bringing Daryl to it, because if you notice when you get the flashback and you get the moment when in the first film he's fighting and his body starts to like go in like that and then he vanishes, when it shows him landing in the quantum realm, the way that he becomes MODOK with his big head and tiny arms and legs is because of the way that his body was being scrunched up from the end of the first film. So it was actually, I thought, a brilliant resolution to that, like being like this, without having to do any heavy lifting, to explain how Daryl becomes MODOK, right? Physically. So
yeah, I think, it was I think it's definitely weird. I do love the way he looks when he's got his mask closed.
It's so bizarre.
I know. I just love that, like, angry, and then it pulls up. It's like, hey,
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I love that scene where Kang is like, "Don't speak when I'm here," or something like that.
Yeah.
Like he does something, and I was like, "Oh," it made me feel bad for MODOK.
I know, right? He. I mean, okay, this is gonna sound so weird, but the earlier comment about what are the character arcs? Does Daryl have the best character arc of the entire movie? Because it seems like it.
So MODOK is my wallpaper, and this week we had like major bad weather, so now I get emergency alerts with that MODOK face, and it is my favorite thing.
What did you guys call it in the chat?
Shit.
Meteorologist.
Yeah.
Only
Meteorologist
designed
only for notifications. Is spelled KNOW ification.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, no, I think I don't have any let's see. Did MODOK create that thunderstorm?
Certainly felt
He
like
might have.
Yeah.
It's like when those people that they start fires just so they can be the hero and put them out themselves.
Yeah.
That's MODOK. He creates storms so he can then send you an alert about it. Hey, there's a tornado coming, but also, be safe. But I think what's his name? Oh, I was gonna say Darren Cross, but that's the name of the character that he was, not the actor. I like him. He's a good actor. I think I guess the when you mentioned the MODOK butt, I was like, man, this movie needs to really pick a tone, like pick a lane. I think, which is kind of the thing that had us all over the place. All right, you have these really serious scenes, but then you go and show me a butt. Like, and look, Deadpool did very similar bits with the whole thing in the first one.
Yeah.
But Deadpool stayed in it like it was one thing, right? It leaned into what it was doing. Whereas this one, I feel like it kept shifting back and forth.
But Ant-Man's always been a comedy superhero bit. Yeah. I mean, that's why we had the X-Cons. That's why we had Michael Pena recapping stories for us. That's why, we had those elements because Scott Lang is not a guy who should stand side to side with Captain America, but does.
Yeah, and a lot of people missed Michael Pena.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
I think it would have been funny if he was helping Scott recap at the end, like he was just telling Scott, like before we get to see. Which I really enjoyed the last few scenes of Scott.
Yeah,
with the birthday, like just thinking about
stopping and like
did I fuck up?
About, like the repercussions of that was good. That felt like the Ant-Man that we got in the first movie, right? And it felt very lacking in this one. Yeah, I almost bought that. I love that MODOK.
This MODOK is my favorite one they've ever made, and I haven't seen one coming out for Quantumania. Have y'all?
There's a Funko Pop, I think.
Oh yeah, there is.
Unless it's getting buried. Did y'all read the news story I put in chat about Funko?
Oh no, I saw the headline though.
There's there was two news. There's a bunch of Magic cards are going in the landfill in Texas.
I read that one, yeah.
So I think instead of going to the comic shop or the game shop, I think we just need to go to the landfill for our collectibles.
And to me, this is a huge bad sign for Funko because they bought Mondo.
Yeah,
Mondo, who puts out some of the great shit.
Oh, I didn't know
they're going to be doing
Mondo.
it at Funko level, and Funko's got a lot of debt. Yeah, so that's my sidebar to that because that was just really weird to see.
So did they throw him away to like tax write-off or something like HBO Max did? Yeah, that makes sense.
They did their Batgirl and just threw it in the dump and covered it up.
and next, and we'll never be able to see that Brendan Fraser pop that they had designed. All right, let's talk about the other characters. Which look, I love Bill Murray. I don't think that we didn't work. We didn't need it.
Yeah.
Like if you had taken that whole sequence out, I think it would have been a much tighter movie, and people would have complained less.
But the only reason that scene existed was to help further explain the resistance movement.
Yeah.
Which then just left me angry because I wanted more about that. This is why it needed to be a series. That needed to be 1 or 2 episodes of the series. Right?
I thought you were gonna say that the only reason that sequence existed is so that we all knew that in 30 years in the quantum realm, Janet banged.
Yes, exactly.
Well,
we've learned too much. They talk about that a lot in the Marvel Universe. Captain America bangs, Janet bangs. Now we know Hank bangs.
And what's really weird is why is Janet in the quantum realm only banging people whose names start with K? So... I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I guess if I thought I was stuck in a realm forever, I guess I would need to get stuff out of my system.
Is that what you call it?
I'm trying to keep it PG for the kids. Just kidding. Kids don't watch this video. This is not. All our videos are marked not for kids on the YouTube thing, so they don't end up on that.
Oh, thank God.
On the YouTube Kids app. So
after the first 2 movies, I'm curious, what do you guys feel like an Ant-Man movie needs to have to be an Ant-Man movie? Because we didn't have Michael Pena, we didn't have Randall Park, we didn't have the X-Cons, we just had the immediate family.
Let her Kim in the chat real quick. She's gonna be throwing with others. 30 years is a long time.
There's 26 other letters. I mean, that's a lot of people to choose from.
That's right. And we don't even know how time works in that pocket of the quantum realm. So it could have been way longer than 30 years.
But you know what's weird though is Janet's age stays the same with her time in the quantum realm. That's the only thing that stayed consistent is because She stayed the same age through the whole time.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't like well.
No, hold on a second. I think she aged, but Michelle Pfeiffer looks so good that why would you even? You don't need to age her down a lot. Like,
no, you don't.
Yeah, that's probably what she would have looked like. I think that's just credit to Michelle Pfeiffer.
But they also never establish at what point in her time there does Kang show up, right?
Yeah, that's true.
It could have been towards the end. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely closer because she already had like her whole battle armor thing. Whatever,
true.
Whatever.
But the scenes of those two together are great. I mean, when you get great actors in these roles, you can put them together and have incredible scenes. And that's what's really great about Jonathan Majors is every scene he has, he makes like Kang the center of it. Even when I went back and watched the end of Loki, and to see
God, that episode is so good. I love that episode.
He Who Remains is just like really good, and it makes me think: did we really kill Kang, or did we kill the Kang that was the first attempt to take over? And He Who Remains is Kang.
So from what I hear or seen online is that this, you know how there was 4 statues in the Loki, like there were 4 statues, but one of them was broken.
Yeah,
that the Kang that they vanished was the one, that statue that was broken was the one that was vanished to the quantum realm.
Interesting.
But I mean, this is all conjecture from Nerds Online, but I'm super on board. And I just love too how different of characters, because He Who Remains is completely different from this Kang that we met.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So the range that, and then even from a lot of the, I'll pull up some pictures of the Kangs at the end credit scene, because it's definitely worth talking about. But like scenes like this, I love. Like, fuck, that looks so cool. I'm like,
oh man, it was so great.
The Kang throne is awesome.
I need to tell you guys my theory. Oh shit, I almost forgot about this. Okay, no. Let me preface this by saying this theory is in no way accurate. As borne out by the end of the movie. But
that's what we love. That's what we love to hear.
Yeah. But I'm watching the movie, all right, and I'm noticing some weird things.
All right, tell me your theory, Josh.
Okay, so for instance, he keeps talking about being exiled, but he never says. He just keeps saying they exiled me, and he's never naming who it is. You know, that's a dialogue thing, what have you. It felt intentional. It's going on. He and Janet start working on his battery. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at it, I'm like, God, why does that look so familiar? And then I'm looking at like all the interlooping circles. I'm like, that looks a lot like Time Lord technology. And then my brain goes off and I'm like, wait a minute. Where's the new season of Doctor Who airing? Holy shit, it's on Disney Plus. I'm sitting there like vibrating. I'm like, tell me they are not going to link these together. That would be so wild. Like, he's a Time Lord or something. We get to the start of the end credits, and I don't know if you noticed, the design of the end credits look like every Doctor Who opening, right? With all the little like abstract things kind of coming together. That hits, and I'm like, holy shit, they're doing it. They're doing it. They're doing this thing, right? And then finally you get that end credit scene with the Council of Kangs, and I was like, fuck, they're not doing it. That's funny. Up until that end credit scene, I was convinced the Time Lords exiled them. And they were going to overlap with Doctor Who. And that was going to be one of the end credit scenes.
Would you want that, though?
I would not. But I thought it was really interesting as a concept and totally out of left field, because I've been racking my brain about why the hell Doctor Who's on Disney Plus. Like why? Right? Well, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, let me introduce you to my friend Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin.
So, here's some of the Kangs we see at the end. So we have Ramatut.
Yep.
I think that was very clear.
Immortus.
Who's usually wearing a red hat.
Who's the one on the right, though?
And this one, I think I made a video a while back, and hold on, let me see if I can pull up my notes. I forget how is it. I think I wanted to say I don't know that. Hold on, let me pull it up because I have the note somewhere. I don't remember what I wrote because I looked I looked through a lot of them. Yeah. So my theory is that it was Iron Lad because his costume looks very like
Kinda,
almost Stark nanotech.
right.
Yeah,
Kind of.
Yeah,
like
I
first
could see
layer.
that.
Yeah. So, and the other cool thing was that whenever the Kangs were showing up, they show up like Reed Richards did in the Multiverse of Madness,
Yeah. So
which is
I have two questions about that. All right. First question. Would this film have been better? Like take the basic concept of the film. Would the film have worked if it was a Fantastic Four movie, not an Ant-Man movie? And second, do you think the Council of Reeds is going to meet the Council of Kings?
I hope not because I don't want more than one Reed around.
I kind of hope not either.
I hope we meet the Maker before we meet the Fantastic Four.
Interesting. Okay.
But
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Josh. Though I'm really stuck in this Doctor Who thing because I would love to see Jonathan Majors face off with the Time Lord. Just that
That would be
those
cool.
two.
Yeah.
But my question is, what Doctor do you want to see?
I knew you were going to ask that.
How dare you? How dare you
one.
know him?
Or because it's type 2. If you could make two Time Lords.
Two I can do. All right. I'm gonna go with, weirdly enough, the Ninth Doctor, Eccleston.
Yes, that's my pick.
Okay, because again, he's got a similar range as
he's the
Major.
darkest Doctor.
Yep. I'm gonna go with Eccleston, and I'm gonna go with weirdly the Eighth Doctor. I kind of want two doctors
Paul
McGann that had the least screen time. Because I feel like they're gonna have to really, like, they're gonna bring their A game to this encounter, right? So
yeah, because once you bring David Tennant in, he's played Purple Man and now
right. Which, although I mean, as you say, like his range as well, he would kill with.
Well,
yeah, that would be fan service to bring in David Tennant, but I really think Christopher Eccleston's the choice.
You can still do Smith, who actually played the character Morbius, so it's not like he.
Look, I don't need any more Morbid time in my Doctor
All
Who.
I'm saying is
only if he dances.
We have the multiverse now. With the multiverse being open, I'm just saying. Did I hear you guys talking about? You were trying to figure out what Kangs were in the end scene.
We did, yeah. We went over them, but
like in the giant council, not just the three.
Oh, so, the third one was the Centurion.
So that's where I was having some doubt because I think it could be Iron Lad.
No, it's not Iron Lad. Iron Lad, he's too old. Iron Lad's young. Like he'd be a teenager like Cassie. That's the reason they dated. All the young Avengers are teenagers. Like
maybe I thought about the Centurion, but the coloring's so different.
It's already been announced. I think I read it somewhere. They already confirmed it was Centurion.
Well, I want to hear from Kevin Feige, or I won't believe it. Yeah, or against Jonathan Majors.
Oh, Kevin just texted.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
I'm glad he watches.
He watches. He's a fan.
Okay.
Also,
we saw him.
Gunn, what up? He's
the one on the right side with the orange face.
They recreated this whole.
Yeah,
scene.
they did.
And
yeah.
I can't find the good picture of the end credit scene because I guess people didn't pirate this enough. That's how bad the movie is. They didn't even pirate it.
That's bad.
So, but yeah, I love this. Like when the Kangs are going wild at the end.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, this is gonna be super, super interesting. And also, my fear is that we'll never even get close to seeing this many Kangs again together.
Oh, right. We will.
That's my other fear, that it'll never happen again. So I don't know. I also think it'd be cool to have like Kangs from other races or genders, or like just. I think that'd be cool because like we saw Loki has completely changed, and the Loki variants are completely different.
How about a brood version?
We need an alligator Kang.
Oh, that'd be awesome. A frog Kang.
The Council of Loki versus the Council of Kang.
I mean, that might be season
versus
2.
The Council of Reeds. Like, we need to bring the councils together.
And then the council from Survivor. whatever the latest cast, whatever the latest cast is.
I'm just trying to think of other actors I'd love to see play Kang alongside Jonathan Majors.
Let's do. They should do. John Krasinski should do one of them just because he's supposed to be like related to him.
I think
And
that's his role in the MCU. He should just be variants of characters that we know.
yeah,
But God, I really want him to be the actual Reed Richards. Like,
No.
I'm kind of worried they're gonna age them down again. Like,
Yeah.
Fantastic Four did, like Ultimate FF. But I kind of want like an older. Give me a pipe smoking Reed Richards, please. Come on, that's canon.
Yeah, I feel like it may be like a 60s version.
That
And
would
maybe
be
they
awesome.
all went into the negative zone, and through the quantum realm, maybe we discovered the negative zone.
Right. That would be awesome.
I mean, really, a great story for Ant-Man would be going into the quantum realm, discovering the negative zone, and that a Reed Richards from another universe has been using it as a prison.
Oh wow.
now,
So
yeah,
the
that
first
would be
we
cool.
discover are the FF villains all in jail, and Ant-Man has let them all out.
the other thing I wanted to talk about, I don't know if you guys have, I'm sure you guys have read it. So after the movie came out, for content and just being a nerd reasons, I was like, oh, let me check out the Kang Dynasty comic. And boy, oh boy, Kurt Busiek's dialogue sometimes is just impenetrable. I read the first issue and I was like, I'm not reading 12 more of these.
Oh man, that
Wow.
sucks.
Well, not immediately. Like I wanted to do it because I wanted to make some videos about it or whatever. And I think I will try to revisit it closer to more of the Kang movies, maybe after Loki season 2. But boy, going back and reading comics from the late 90s, early 2000s, they are so different than from what we're getting now.
Yeah, it was all about the art. There was very little great
Yeah,
story.
and this one had Alan Davis, Kieran Dwyer, Ivan Reis, Manuel
Those are-
Garcia.
Damn, those are awesome artists.
Those are very talented artists.
yeah.
Rick Remender was inking, I think, on this. Like that's one of his was because he was
inking.
he
before
started
wrote?
as an inker and then became a writer.
Huh.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So it's really interesting to go back and see. For those that listen, and well, I guess I'll talk about it a little bit later. But I've been reading some of the Nuff Said event that Marvel did with the Silent Comics.
Yeah.
For the I Read Comic Books podcast. We're recording tomorrow. So it'll be interesting if you guys want to listen to what I have to say on those next week.
Cool.
But the Kang, one of the Kang issues from Avengers is part of that crossover, or that whole event. So it's interesting. Maybe that one's easier to get through because it's silent. But yeah, I read the first one. I was like, oh my god, Kurt Busiek, you're throwing so much out of me. Like I do not have the computing power to.
That dude's forgotten more about the Marvel universe than we all know together.
Dude, yes. Oh my god, yeah. And we have Kyle on our team, so that
is
tells you how
true,
much knowledge Kurt Busiek really has. Or just had because he forgot it. But very interesting. All right, what else do you guys want to talk about? Because we're getting close to the hour mark, and I want to cut it out. I do want to stop in the next few minutes. So if you want to do your final thoughts, because we also have a lot of stuff to talk about. I think as far as like comics and things we read and all that stuff. So any what are your final thoughts here, guys, on the movie?
I don't know why Wasp still exists. I mean,
I wonder, and not to get too political, but I wonder how much of the role from the Wasp was cut down because of all the Evangeline Lilly like nonsense. Like it's not like she's a main character like Shuri, right?
Right.
Well, I guess she kind of is because her name is in the movie.
But look at her dialogue. I mean, it's not
what dialogue. I don't even remember. I can't tell you one line that she might have said. Like even Cassie stuff was more interesting. I do like the Scott Cassie relationship a lot. I think. I mean,
yeah.
Especially when she's out of jail, like he goes to get her out of jail, and you know what?
I still feel bad for the original Cassie though, the one who was in.
That's true.
Game.
Yeah, I know, and that was sad.
Yeah,
how she found out, but I do like this new actor playing Cassie. She's got a great like
energy
presence.
Go watch exactly. What's the movie with Vince Vaughn that they switch bodies?
Freaky Friday.
Hold on. It's like a slasher movie.
Uh,
Hold on, you guys keep talking.
Oh God.
Are you talking about Vince Vaughn?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said Vincent D'Onofrio.
No.
it's Vince Vaughn.
Oh, it's
Okay.
called Freaky.
Freaky,
Freaky,
yeah, where
yeah.
he switches body. Is she
Yeah.
Is she
She's the actor in that, and then Vince Vaughn.
Oh,
So they
very
switch.
cool.
Yeah, so very cool. I really like those movies. Also, the Happy Death Day movies. This is not connected to nothing, but I really enjoy those as well. So go watch those.
I think my biggest complaint is Ant-Man or Quantumania. It looked most like a DC film of all the Marvel movies because it was completely CGI.
Oh.
I wish that they would use the like what they've been doing in Star Wars, the TV shows, where they've used physical buildings with the monitor background.
And I'm gonna say, not all DC movies look like a bunch of CGI. Say what you will about Zack Snyder, he loves practical stuff as much as he can.
I'm sorry. Have you seen Justice League?
He with the original. Well, I mean, the original.
His whole movie is 4 hours of CGI.
Yeah,
but
the Zack Snyder cut.
Yes.
No. Maybe some back. No, get out of here. You guys.
We'll watch it. I'll spend the whole time in Nip Theater
the whole 4 hours
watching
of
it
Zack
and
Snyder's
count the time.
Justice League. It's nothing but fucking CGI.
But,
Yeah.
not the characters themselves. A lot of the backgrounds, yeah, sure, because you can't.
I'm sorry, Steppenwolf, Darkseid, Martha Manhunter.
Yeah, but Steppenwolf looked fucking badass. Like, don't compare Steppenwolf.
Why did you say that name?
Yeah, don't compare how Steppenwolf and Darkseid look with what we got in Quantumania. As much as I love those characters,
what we got in Quantumania. Quantumania is supposed to be like this abstract, like blower, like really abstract world, whereas we're getting CG with Justice League, where it's CG in the actual world.
Yeah, get real actors behind him. I mean, fucking Thanos pays off because Josh Brolin.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
I mean, the fucking villains in Justice League are just CGI. I mean, they're just fucking there. They don't.
Well, for Steppenwolf, they did face capture, but for Darkseid, they couldn't because it was just it's a thing that they added afterwards.
Yeah, but see, then it lessens it. It weakens it.
Well, I mean, it wasn't even supposed to happen, so I don't know if we can put it on that.
But it's out there. He put it as a finished product of what he wanted on screen.
Boom.
And it's better than Quantumania.
No.
I will look.
No.
I wouldn't say.
Yeah,
Thank you,
oh my
Clay.
god!
Thank you.
I will end this stream right now.
No, I want to defend Danny. All right,
Oh,
and
Lord.
that is by directly pointing to Man of Steel. Man of Steel is Snyder's most grounded movie. It has very little like CGI settings. It has color. It has, it has
color. Yeah,
it has color.
I'll give you that. It's his most grounded film.
It is his most grounded film. I will totally defend Danny on that one.
That's right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You can stay on the stream.
Woohoo!
One thing I did want to talk about. Oh, sorry, Josh. Finish up.
Well, I was just gonna say I think my final thought with it is when it hits streaming, I'm gonna give it another shot and just kind of see how I feel about it. Because I kind of weirdly referring to Man of Steel, I kind of responded the same way to Quantumania as I did to Man of Steel, which is by the end of the movie, I was like, that was really fun. That was great. And then by the time I got to the car, it's like, that was kind of shitty. Like just in walking that distance,
I mean, it's like Wakanda Forever. The first time I saw it was kind of like, and I saw it again. I was like, okay, I'm more on board with this. So give it a second.
Yeah. I think once your expectations kind of reset with the second watch.
Yeah.
One thing we didn't talk about, the Chekhov's ant farm.
Yes. That was the ants. The ants. Oh my God.
And the hearing aid. Because I kept thinking it's like, oh, it's kind of cool. They're just not going to mention the hearing aid. And we just have a main character with the hearing aid. That's kind of neat. And I was like, fuck, they're going to make it a plot point. So
but
that was cool.
I love when the ants are storming Kang's castle and Hank's just walking across the bridge like, I'm a badass.
That was awesome. The best Hank Pym moment. It's like you fuck with my ants are gonna fuck
you
up. This film, like I said, it has those fun moments for sure.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's a cohesive story. And
that last battle is Tron Legacy. I'm sorry. I can go probably take the end scenes and go. I mean, Clue and Kang, the army, they're trying to leave the quantum realm. They're trying to leave the digital world. It's.
No, I get that. I see that. I definitely see that.
I mean, and Michael Douglas probably got a big paycheck to do just a few things and then have that strut at the end. And he gets to drive the vehicle, which is cool.
Oh god, yeah,
that was great.
Yeah,
whole
most of
arm
this
in.
stuff was just like CGI, hanging out with Michelle Pfeiffer, which I would do that for free.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then like I see that like this is definitely what Kyle's talking about. Like this is Tron. Like this whole battle at the end is Tron.
It is Tron Legacy. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying it's Tron Legacy.
Yeah. I love the callbacks too of like when Cassie and Biggins and she's like, because that's her first time really doing it, I think. And then she's like, I'm so thirsty. And then they like they connect on that. Like, I remember the first time I did, because in the Civil War, he's like, can I get some orange slices or whatever? Really cool.
Like, I got a question, because when Hank and Jen are talking about they had needs. He mentions and they're driving the ship. He's talking, I met this girl. I think her name was Linda. Is that the name of his first wife?
I wondered if that was going to be like a callback or something, but I don't know enough history.
I mean, technically, the mother of his daughter in the comic books now.
Maybe it's the other the new Wasp that's in the comics. I think that's
his daughter though. So I'm wondering if that was Linda.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's his daughter with a different woman, right?
Yeah, because they bring it
Maria Pym.
I don't know. I remember that whole story arc was in West Coast Avengers. It was the same story arc where they decided to split Mockingbird and Hawkeye up.
Maria Pym is the first wife of Hank.
Okay, then so it's not. But he mentioned Linda, so I'm trying to. Was there ever
Linda could be the mother of whoever the current Wasp in the comics? Like, I think she's like half Russian or something.
That's Maria. Maria is the mother of Hope.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. I don't know. Then I don't know where Linda may come from.
I've got to share you the Maria Pym page because of what she turns into.
Has a big brain.
Oh,
is it MODOK?
No.
I'm kidding.
Yep.
Well, are you kidding me? I was right.
Modan?
No, okay. I totally pulled that out of my ass.
And Quasar.
He's Modam. Come on.
Yeah, like I saw that too. I was like, why is this happening in a Quasar comic?
So in Solo Avengers 16 is the first Sodam, and as Modam in Quasar 9.
Oh boy, what does Modam stand for? Does it say?
No.
Okay.
Really, it doesn't.
Maria only something.
Oh, mental organism designed for aggressive maneuvers.
Oh God,
that's wow.
Yeah, no, but hold on. Called Sodam, a specialized organism designed for aggressive. Yeah, so it's.
Now you know why they had to change that name, because I figured this came out late 80s.
Yeah, it's 1990.
Yeah,
there you go.
Quasar number 1 came in the 90s.
Interesting that we're seeing their Quasar's his bands, because I know that there's been a lot of speculation that this movie is going to be heavily tied to Shang-Chi's 10 Rings. Like Kang is going to have a lot to do with that, from what I've seen.
Really? Huh.
Rumor is that when we get to, I think it's Kang's Dynasty, since it's an Avengers film, they're saying that basically he's going to be like Kang and Strange are going to be the two main focal points, because Kang's going to see himself as a hero, as Doctor Strange is going to be seen as an outlaw. So
and I think Shang-Chi looks to be like maybe not the leader of the Avengers, but one of the more pivotal characters.
I read that basically Spider-Man may be the main character when it comes to Kang Dynasty movie.
The only reason I don't think they would hinge their whole Avengers thing on Spider-Man is because it doesn't belong to Marvel completely. So you don't want to put your eggs in a basket that belongs to Sony.
Yeah,
because we know how that turns out sometimes.
But Sony, I mean, it'd be tough for Sony to turn down the bank that it got, because anytime it makes a Marvel movie, it's just fucking money.
Yeah, that's a good. You guys keep talking. Let me look at how much this movie made.
Well, look at week 1 and week 2. I've heard it.
Yeah, it dive bombed after
plummeted.
that. I mean, I still love Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. Like,
I do too.
No, there's nothing wrong with Paul.
Yeah,
there is. I mean, quite honestly, if you take all the component parts of this movie, there's nothing wrong with it. All the actors are great, right? The basic plot is fine. It's just when you assemble it all together, it didn't work, because it needed more room to breathe. I'm just going to go back. It needed to be a series. It just did.
Yeah.
And
Or you could have taken those 30 minutes of hanging out with Bill Murray and done something
Shrunk
else
him.
with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that was worth having him in there.
Ooh. No, I don't think so either. I mean, good
unless
for
you're
Bill
gonna bring
Murray.
him back somewhere, like
Yeah, unless he's supposed to be something, but I don't know. So the first Ant-Man movie made $519 million worldwide. The second one made 622 million worldwide. This one is only at 373 million right now. So it hasn't even reached the first ones.
wow.
And it's very
The
far away
first
from
two
it.
just had fun moments.
Yeah.
There's and to me, this almost feels like it was a Fantastic Four film adapted to Ant-Man because it has so much family-oriented stuff, but it's not really done well. Like, I mean, we know that Janet's been gone for a long time, and her connection to everyone is still very distant. Like, there isn't a lot of like, to me, I wanted to see Wasp and her kind of share really great moments together because that's part of what Ant-Man's about, family.
They were gone for 5 years. So
yeah, and then
except Cassie.
Yeah, and then Cassie and her dad like have that relationship.
Yeah.
Hank is the odd man out. He's been here the whole time, and I don't think he's really appreciated his family until now.
I do like the relationship between Hank and Cassie because it seems like they got very close in the like I think I'm pretty sure she calls him like her grandpa
like 3 times.
Yeah.
So I really like that. I really like that. I wish we also had seen Bobby Cavallari. What's his name? Bobby Cavallari from the first movie. He was the Cassie's mom's new husband.
Stepdad.
Oh yeah. I really missed them in this movie because I felt like
what's her name from Halloween?
Yeah.
Judy Greer.
Judy Greer.
Yeah.
Judy Greer's a queen. She makes everything.
I love Judy Greer.
100%. So I will say, I think the thing I'm most happy about with seeing Quantumania with my daughter is the Alamo Drafthouse pre-show included the Adult Swim sketch of Paul Rudd on the computer, and she had never seen that before, and we just lost our shit laughing so hard. And so now around the house we just have nude Tane as a line. Show me nude Tane. That was really cool. Yeah, we did. I loved that. I didn't know we could take it. I would have taken it. Shit. Yeah, they had these.
No, I couldn't take it. Clay just took it.
What are they gonna do?
What are they gonna do?
They know you have it now. I do want to ask Josh. Are you as a family now gonna go for Halloween as Ant-Man, Wasp, and Stature?
I think it would be hard to get any of us to dress up.
Can you? Who do you think you would have more of an issue convincing, your wife or your daughter?
My daughter. Well, no, actually me. I hate dressing up. So I'm gonna be the hardest.
Okay, interesting. We'll make it a Patreon tier. Patreon goal, so you have to do it.
You're right. Awesome. We would make a perfect. I'm Scott. Jim.
Yeah. You have, or you could switch it around, gender bend. That.
Absolutely.
You make a great wasp. Yeah, you make a great wasp.
I've got the hips for it.
And that is how our Quantumania chat ends. With Josh's hips, because they don't lie. I hear
they don't lie. That is true.
Cool. So yeah, that wraps up for Quantumania. So let's move along. We have some news and stuff to talk about. Some like random things that we want to, especially comics. Comics have been really. Did you read it?
I did. I blew through it last night.
Oh, you gotta go, Kyle?
Yeah, I was gonna go later, but apparently the North Texas Toy Show is going on right now. So
that's what I was telling the guys. Like I wasn't sure if you're gonna make it today because I know you've been going.
I'm not buying anything because I gave up buying toys for Lent. But
look at you!
Wow.
I'm gonna help you financially a little bit too, but I still want to go try to do a movie for my YouTube channel, which Clay's now watching apparently.
Yeah, you wanna plug that?
Yeah, it's at Kylepedia on Twitter.
Shit! All right,
I'll put it on.
Not Twitter. I'm sorry. It's Kylepedia on handle, but sorry, Kylepedia on YouTube. Oh my god.
YouTube. Okay. I'm gonna find it.
I'll put that on the here, so you can check out Kyle and his videos about toys and all the cool stuff.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Now this gives Clay a chance to hit some conventions without having to leave the.
This is the only way I get to see things. Is I visualize it through his video. So whenever he makes stops and does toy shows, that's the only cons I get to see.
Interesting.
Yeah, but a friend of mine called me if he's going to be able to get up there earlier, so I'm going to go up and try to look around. And I'm actually getting to know some of the dealers out there who actually have their own YouTube channels too. So I've actually made connections and friends. So it's kind of cool.
Dude, that's pretty cool. I see you got a bunch of videos. I just dropped your link on the Twitch and the
my
YouTube
subscription. My subscription going up slowly. I'm up to 66.
You should make little shorts. The shorts really help. To drive like
I need to. I have an issue where and this is really stupid, but I don't remember the official log into my Gmail and everything's tied to my Gmail. So I have to. I'm afraid to reset my password because if I don't, then I lose access to a whole bunch of stuff. So
I understand.
Right.
I got to get past this point. So that way I can actually start doing shorts on my iPhone. But I have the YouTube video studio on my iPhone.
Yeah, dude. That's been helping our channel a lot.
Yeah.
I don't said done little stuff, but cool. Yeah, go follow Kyle. And then Clay will plug the other podcast at the end of this stream. You're squanching.
Cool.
Squanching.
Cool.
All right, I'll get you guys later.
Take care, Tom.
Yeah.
All right. Now we can talk about the Batman. Just kidding.
I do need to rewatch it. And,
I've been meaning to. Yeah.
And I have a reason now to officially rewatch 89 and Returns because Hazel needs to see them before Flash comes out. So
that's true.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And you got to make her read that Batman 89 comic.
Yes. Oh, I do. Good point.
It is.
We will be reading that this year in the comic book club. I think it's November, October.
I think so. Yeah.
So
cool. I did want to say, speaking of the Batman stuff, and then we'll get into our stuff. Clancy Brown is joining the cast of the Penguin spinoff TV show with Colin Farrell.
Really?
Yeah, I love.
Do you know who he's playing?
Yeah, no, we don't know anything much about the show. Although I think it's starting production or pre-production now. So I'm pretty excited because I love Colin Farrell's interpretation of the character.
Yeah.
And I love Clancy Brown. I mean, he's been the voice of Lex Luthor forever. And a lot of the animated stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
So, all right, let's. I can get a start. Well, actually, Clay, you have a bunch of stuff. So let's do your movie and TV stuff first, and then we'll talk comics.
Yeah, I watch for my other podcast with Mark, Unsocial Spectators. We are in 2008.
Dude, y'all are moving fast.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like the last time you talked about it, you were in the 90s.
Are you guys?
So, I mean, every episode is a year, and then we pick a movie or movies from that year and revisit them, talk about them or their importance.
Are you guys already planning what happens when y'all get to 2023?
We're not getting to 2023. We're actually doing 2009 and 10. Then we're going to go back and we're going to create some more rules to watch more films that we haven't seen, see if they still hold up, if they're worthy of films to revisit.
Yeah, it's funny because I think so. Just quick side tangent. I listened to my buddy Kev has a podcast called the Austin Danger podcast, and what they do is they only watch movies that are connected to the Austin Powers movies. So like they'll find an actor or somebody that worked in a different. So that's their criteria is that the movie they're watching has to be tangentially related. Like you can do the IMDb Connect thing to put two movies together to see.
Right.
So yeah, it's really cool. Go check it out. It's really fun. They just talked about they did Dudley Do Right, and now Cat in the Hat was their latest episode.
Whoa.
Which that was that's exactly what they said. So yeah, Kevin and Mackenzie, really, really funny stuff. But anyways, go ahead.
So I'm at 2008, and what happens there is Iron Man. The MCU has begun.
Yeah,
and it's wild. I didn't realize that got put out with the help of Paramount.
Mm-hmm.
That's
and I was like, how did Paramount go from helping make Iron Man to just fucking shit in the bed?
They pivoted to Star Trek.
Yeah, they did. They did hard. And I read Discovery is finishing up its 5th season. It's going to be the last one.
When did the Abrams Star Trek reboot come
2011,
out?
I think.
Oh,
I think
11. Okay.
2011, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So I rewatched Iron Man. I watched The Incredible Hulk.
Still never seen it.
Oh, you know what? I just am. Who here enjoys Liv Tyler as an actress?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I watched The Leftovers. She's fantastic in that.
See, I hated her in that, but I kind of enjoy her as Betsy.
Well, you're supposed to hate her, I think. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, but so, characters in The Leftovers, I hated so much I quit watching after the first season. Like,
Dude, it's a tough watch for sure. I only watched it because I was listening to a podcast, and we would just watch one a week.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I can see how this was a tough watch.
Yeah, I don't know. At that point, I was kind of frustrated with Damon Lindelof, who just couldn't seem to kind of end anything. Yeah. So I didn't want to just keep watching it. But I heard the ending was good.
I think so. I think he nailed it. I think he learned a lot from his years in Lost. And
he certainly did that with Watchmen as well. Yeah, he definitely nails the ending on that too. So,
but you also have Emil Blonsky. What's his name? Tim Roth.
Tim Roth.
I mean,
Tim Roth. Yeah.
Come on.
Tim Roth is great in it.
I'll go watch it. I meant to watch it before She-Hulk came out, but I didn't.
So when you and Hazel were doing the rewatch, that you guys gonna skip that one?
So I didn't join her with that. She sort of did all. She just did that. And
then go. Can you go get her so we can talk about Incredible Hulk? And
yeah, I'll go grab her. But I'm really. I don't know if she watched that one or not.
Okay,
so I'll have to ask her.
Maybe y'all can watch it together.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Back. I mean, Ed Norton as Banner is great. Like,
yeah.
You know, I don't think he has a bad movie. Is there a bad Ed Norton movie?
Yes, the one with Bruce Willis where he's like this guy who stutters or whatever. I don't remember. Brooklyn, Brooklyn. Ale, what's his name from 30 Rock? Also in it.
Motherless Brooklyn.
Yeah, Motherless Brooklyn. That's not a very good movie.
I do remember watching that. Yeah.
He decided to do some kind of stutter. And it's not one of Bruce Willis's finest films, and Alec Baldwin also kind of phoned it in. So,
yeah, but I did want to pull like one of the CGI shots. Sorry.
Of Incredible Hulk.
Of the Incredible Hulk, because
from Motherless Brooklyn. I was like,
no.
Yeah, surprisingly, Motherless Brooklyn entirely CGI.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, when he goes to see Stearns and he starts changing, like the CGI is really bad in this one. You know, they can't figure out the Hulk until they do the Avengers film. So
yeah, I agree.
It's
and
really bad.
And then the thing I love about the MCU Hulk post Incredible Hulk, it seems like, is they not only figure out the Hulk, they get so good with it. We get all these variations, right? Mm-hmm. So when we get Professor Hulk, it's like they're really good at like figuring out how to vary him. So
yeah, and see, I'm because he stayed with the MCU for so long, I'm really curious if they're ever gonna like do a solo Hulk thing with him, because he is great, and it would be interesting if he's the most stable Hulk, and that Hulk's like, I mean, if you're reading the Donny Cates one. The Hulk version in that is to save us from Banner. Banner's the bad guy.
Yeah.
So I would love to see them go through alternate realities, and maybe even bring Bana, who was the guy, Eric Bana.
Eric Bana back.
It'd be great to see him as a villain. If you've ever seen Chopper, like he plays a great villain in that, and it's based on a real dude. Huh?
Have you ever seen Troy? He plays a great Hector.
Oh, no. Interesting. All right.
You've never seen Troy?
Mm-mm.
With Brad Pitt?
Mm-mm.
And Brian Cox?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's not that memorable.
And Orlando Bloom?
I've seen clips from it, and I can't get past
I bet you read the book.
I can't get past his hair. It's so
I love it. It's one of my favorite Brian Cox roles, and he's in Succession, so
well, or the OG Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, or the McDonald's commercials.
So weird for that guy to be out critiquing acting and then go fucking sell some quarter pounders with cheese.
Yeah, they must have paid him a lot of money for it.
That's so bizarre.
What do you think the voice of McDonald's gets? I wonder if we could find out what Brian makes on a commercial. Do you think it's a 5 million?
It's gotta be like, yeah, it's gotta be something substantial because that dude, he
He
probably
doesn't have
has
to
a.
work, I don't think.
They probably bring a recording booth to his house or something,
Right.
and
Yeah.
he just bangs it out there, and then ba da ba ba ba. There you go.
Now, Brian Cox was in the X-Men universe and
Oh,
died in X3
Striker.
or died in X2.
Oh, I forgot he was Stryker in
Yeah.
the film.
Do we want to see him in the MCU as Stryker when we bring in mutants?
I think
That'd be pretty cool.
that'd be cool. Or as Logan Roy. I'll take him as his Succession character.
From 2008, also watched Rock and Rolla. Have you guys seen Rock and Rolla?
That's a Guy Ritchie film, right?
It's a Guy Ritchie film in it, and if you love Snatch, this is right up there.
It's on my
this
list.
is that fucking good. I don't know. It's one of my favorites because it just has an all-star cast that really pays off.
Snatch is hard for me to watch because of the accents.
Subtitles.
Subtitles, it's tough to understand. So I do, especially when Brad Pitt's accent. It's so. Anyways.
I rewatched A Scanner Darkly, the Philip K. Dick book that was turned into an incredible Richard Linklater film.
Yeah.
Have y'all seen it?
I have not. I've seen A Waking Life, which I know set up the use of that kind of rotoscoping animation for A Scanner Darkly. But I was going to say, Alamo Drafthouse this month, I think, is doing a Keanu month, and that's one of the films they're screening.
Cool.
Is A Scanner Darkly. So,
wow. Yeah, it's great. I
mean,
mean,
it's really good.
It gives you the feeling of a Philip K. Dick book. Like if you only know Blade Runner, you need to see this.
Yeah.
And it's Robert Downey Jr., Woody Harrelson, Winona Ryder, all doing great shit, and seeing how it plays out to the end. I hope it gets more people reading Philip K. Dick.
Cool.
Superbad. Probably one of the last great teenage high school films.
I would throw in
Project X. I agree.
What a shit movie.
God damn it. No, it's not Bookish.
Oh, Booksmart.
Booksmart. I love that movie. That movie.
Me too.
Yeah.
But Superbad was fun to kind of go back and revisit and see, McLovin. And then just early Bill Hader. I think it's Bill Hader is like one of his first films. I think he was still doing SNL at the time.
That's right. Yeah.
And Mystery Science Theater finished up its season and had a special last night. So everything that's been done through Kickstarter is complete. You can go rent. You can go buy films. It was just fun to go back and look at all the stuff they've done.
Did you share the news that they have a deal with a streaming service like Pluto or something, or Tubi or one of those?
Yes,
I saw that. Yeah,
they. So since the season is finished up, they're selling it. So now, if you want to go watch it, it's on Pluto,
on the MST3K channel, right?
Yeah, and so this season has everybody riffing. Joel comes back. Well, nice. Mike doesn't come back, but you've got Joel, you've got Sarah. And Jonah.
Oh, Jonah. Okay. Yeah. They didn't bring back Mike though, huh? I guess they didn't bring back Mike though, huh?
No, I don't know why. Because I don't know what the deal is between them, because I know the Mads do their own thing too. But like this season, they were able to get the first Mad.
Oh, shit.
Elvis.
Yeah.
Yeah, he shows up in a cameo.
Really? That's cool.
So there's a lot of cool cameos. It's worth watching the whole season. There's some Dr. Mordred is one of the films they do.
Nice. I've tried watching it on its own, and I'm gonna need the MST3K version to get through it, I think. So
yeah. In fact, it was really cool because one of the specials is the after show. They had the screenwriter on, and he was so excited to be on. But it's for his movie, so he said it's like,
Oh, that's awesome. That's so funny.
Yeah. I did a full Moon Knight rewatch. I just hope they work him in somehow great. Like, Are we going to see him next in his own season? Are we going to see him in Secret Wars?
Well, they are doing season 2. We saw the footage of what's his name, Isaacs, and the director like off in Egypt somewhere.
Yeah, but I didn't think it was announced or confirmed by Marvel.
I mean, maybe they were just building up their own confirmation hype, like
Deadpool
style.
Yeah, I mean, he's they're both producers. Like he stars and is an executive producer, so I know he wants this to do well. And I kind of love him playing Moon Knight. Like me
too.
Like I know it's different from the comic, but I still had fun. There's a lot of great action.
Yeah,
and just even when they have scenes of Isaac sitting down with who's the main villain, Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
Just great exchanges, man. Ethan Hawke goes from just being this nice, polite guy to just being full on fucking evil at times.
Yeah.
And then the Mando premiere. Did y'all watch Mando?
Oh, yes, sir.
No.
I woke up at 5 that morning because I had to go into the office. So I woke up. I woke up, took a shower. I watched the episode while I was getting ready for work, and then I shot a review video before leaving for work.
Wow.
And then when I got to work, I realized we didn't have to go into the office that day. Because we go 6 times, so it's 1 week we go Wednesday and Thursday. 1 week we don't. But at the beginning of the month, sometimes it's weird, and I was off on Tuesday, so I didn't read our chat where they kind of tell us when we're going or not. So I showed up and there was nobody there, and I was like, "Oh shit, what happened?" And then I finally get on the chat and I see that they gave us instruction of like, "Oh, you don't have to come today." But it was fine. I worked from the office for like a half day, and then I told my manager like, instead of going out to lunch downtown, I'm just gonna go home and then continue to work when I get there, so I don't have to spend money over here. But go to Carmine's Pizza downtown. It's really good. I love their pizza.
I've been to Carmine's. It is good. Dude. Yeah,
I mean, it's good pizza for like being available there. It's the best. I think it's the best you can get down in that little area.
Yeah, I mean, like their pasta's a little bit better, but like their pizza is very sauce heavy. Very sauce.
Oh, see, yeah. I usually get whatever they have ready, and they just reheat. I just get a couple slices at a time, or I'll get a smaller pizza where they don't put as much sauce. Maybe
unless you want don't they have a stuffed pizza that's
yeah. I'm glad they made it through like COVID and all that because everything shut. Like I think the only stuff that's still close by is that there was a Quiznos that I don't think it's open anymore. And
God, I know exactly where this is.
Yeah, because I work very close to where the museum.
The museum, yeah. So the Quiznos shut down. There was a barbecue place right there too.
The Dickies. Dickies still there.
Oh, it's still there. All right.
Yeah. No, barbecue places don't shut down in Texas unless they're really bad.
That Quiznos they were always rude. Every time I went there, I just quit going.
Yeah.
Thanks, Leonard. It wasn't bad. I don't mind going into the office. It was just more the fact that I had to wake up so early to do everything. Because if I didn't go in, I would have watched it during lunch, and then done the review as opposed to so. Anyways, cool. Yeah, I liked it though. It was a good episode. I really enjoyed it. It was short though. It was short.
Just real quick, I've been painting. I was hoping Kyle would be here because I wanted to show how I had taken an old steel, and I mean it's still a work in progress. But since I got some really good metal paint, I just wanted to update this. And this is his obviously mixing bowl hand.
Is that Shaq?
No, it is not the Shaq steel, but I would love to get one. I'm going to finish painting it out. I'm trying some of the metallic blue on it. I don't know. I know the chest should always be steel, but should it be red? You
should check out the Action Comics. Oh, you can't see me. Hold on, let me put you back.
Yeah.
The Action Comics steel's on here. I really like his new design.
Oh, okay. I'll check it out.
Check it out. Leonard Kim. Yeah, I agree. This is really I mean, I want Mandalorian to be way longer, but that's just personal reason. And then,
and then this was a Brave Infinity toy that I just redid. I haven't finished her eyes yet.
That's cool.
I thought it was a Bratz doll or something.
No, it's Kate Bishop from Brave.
Dude, that's so cool.
That is awesome.
So
I bet stuff like that you could definitely sell on Etsy.
Oh, absolutely.
That's my hope. That's my hope.
Nice.
So we'll see.
All right, I got a few things that I watched. The first one, Cocaine Bear.
Okay.
And
What a fun movie!
Nice.
My goodness, it is from beginning to end. It doesn't overstay its welcome. Like all the jokes, for the most part, hit, and it delivers what it promised: a bear full of cocaine. Yeah. Also,
will it get a sequel?
I don't think so, but I think we would. I think after success, we will definitely see more of these, like based on real events, but they're ridiculous events that happen in real life, type of movies. Because I think comedies normally don't do well in theaters, but this one almost caught up to Ant-Man in its debut. So, yeah,
I didn't
really
realize,
fun.
is this Ray Liotta's last film?
Ray Liotta's last film. Yeah, it was nice to see him. I mean, he delivered.
That's
He's
sad. I
such a
didn't
good
know
actor.
that.
I think, at least he got to go out on top. I think so. That was cool. That was cool. Yeah. And I hope my one takeaway was to give Elizabeth Banks like a slasher comedy movie, because man, when the horror, that was my one complaint, is that the tone of the movie was kind of all over the place a little bit, like with going back between like these really gory horror type of scenes and then like some of the comedy, which it was a little jarring. It was still entertaining overall, but man, when some of those horror scenes kind of happened, I was like, oh, you watched like Sam Raimi stuff and stuff like that. Like you could tell like some of the influences. Maybe I'm just talking out of my ass. Also, there was an Evil Dead theater trailer in front of that. Whatever that movie looks fucking deranged. Holy shit!
Yeah, I'm going, what the fuck? But this is, I guess, is more of the recent reboot.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I'll be watching that one because it's. But I was like, oof. They really.
I don't understand this weird impulse to make Evil Dead a mainstream horror movie. That's not what the franchise is about.
Yeah.
I just. Anyway, sorry. Go on.
Yeah. I rewatched Catch Me If You Can with Tom Hanks, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, also based on a true story.
Based on a true story. Yeah, that was my whole week. Is just based on a true story.
But I've read that a lot of that is fake, and
you could. I'm sure
it's just the two characters are the only real elements.
Oh, that would make sense.
That makes sense. But I mean, it's a really, so on TikTok, a lot of people, all they do is post clips of movies, and I would stumble upon like the same scene from Catch Me If You Can, like where he's doing the checks and trying to figure out, like he figures out that the pilots, which, okay, I guess time travel a little bit, man, the fact that pilots were like revered by people because that feels like they're not really even playing it up for the movie. I feel like that's really the way, just knowing how America is.
Yeah.
Like I can see that. Oh yeah, I mean that's it. It's a cool profession. I'm sure it is. You get to, especially back then, like they got to travel all over the place or whatever. I don't know. It feels like it was very.
Yeah, you only flew from experience. You didn't have like a simulator at home.
Yeah.
Right.
And it probably also wasn't as accessible to just kind of fly and take off on a vacation. I feel like vacations were a lot more road trips and stuff like that too. Middle America.
The whole experience of flying back then, this is what, the 60s, right?
I think so, yeah.
Was totally different. You had like full service meals, and it was more akin to being on like a fancy ship.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It was trying to like emulate that experience until they got to the point of just make the chairs smaller and cram people into a tiny box and treat them like shit. So,
and the fact that like seeing kids run up to the pilots and ask for autographs, I'm like, this is fucking bananas. But yeah, it's a really good movie. I mean, Tom Hanks and Leonardo DiCaprio, like also so many, like Amy Adams is in the film and Jennifer Garner plays like,
I didn't remember that.
Like a really upscale model / hooker, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, it was really fun. But the only reason I watched it was because it keeps coming up on TikTok. I think next I'm gonna watch The Terminal, which is another Tom Hanks movie.
Yeah, I do like that one.
Where he's stuck in the terminal because his country ceased to exist.
Yeah,
So
and the
his
real
visa,
story on that is wild.
his v. So yeah, that's man. I'm gonna go on a Tom Hanks kick because a man named Otto just hit VOD too. So I'm probably gonna check
Oh,
that
that's
out.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Hanks, American icon. So, and then the last thing as far as live action, the Consultant is a new Prime video with
Yeah.
Christoph Waltz. It is so fucking weird. The plot is kind of like the CEO of this video like mobile game company is murdered, but before he's murdered, he had signed this contract to bring on Christoph Waltz to consult on the company. But Christoph Waltz plays like the most deranged, weird, like character. It's
Is
so
he a
weird.
hitman?
Huh? I don't know what it is. Like it's such a weird vibe because it almost feels like is this supposed to be like a horror thing or a I don't know. But Christoph Waltz is so good that I'm just kind of going along with it. The episodes are only like 30 minutes each too.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, Leonard Kim. I burned through the Consultant. It was man half of the time. I was confused. I'm confused a lot of the time too. But then
Wow. If
Chris,
Leonard Kim isn't in, then I'm out.
yeah, that's true. Leonard Kim does. He tends to even watch more stuff than I do. So, but I'm gonna check out the back half because it's only 8 episodes, so it's like really a long 4-hour movie. But yeah, that's about all I watched. I haven't watched the Party Down for this week, and I should before my membership runs out, my trial. But
Yeah,
if you want,
wait a minute.
Although
New Party Down?
the new Party Down,
it's
I watched.
on, it's
Oh,
on.
you weren't in the. I watched the new Party Down last week, the first episode.
But
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's also streaming on like Hulu.
They dropped the first 2 seasons for like 2 weeks on Hulu.
I swear I opened it up because like, oh, Party Out, and it said 3 seasons, but I haven't.
Oh, maybe.
So I don't know. Just FYI.
Oh, I'll check before I sign up
Okay.
for Stars.
I will. You know what? Let me double check while we're on the air. So I'm not.
Yeah, pulling it up, it says it's on Hulu.
But the first 2 seasons, I thought.
Yeah, it may be.
I'll hang on. Let me check.
It's tied to Stars, so you have to have a Stars subscription.
Oh shit! That makes sense.
But you can watch the first 2 seasons for free right now.
Right, the first
On
2
Hulu.
seasons are on there.
Which they're so funny. Like it's such an underrated show only because it didn't take off because it was on Stars.
There are 3 episodes on Hulu
you're right.
from the 3rd season.
Yep. And it looks like even season 1 is like season 1, episode 1 is expiring in 12 days. So
yeah,
get on it.
It is hilarious. It's a great show.
Oh, it's a great show. Yeah, I love Party
really
Down.
fun. Cool. Josh, do you have anything you watched, or you want to get into comics, or?
I mean, I haven't really watched anything. We started watching, and I was shocked to realize I'd never seen it. We started watching Witches of Eastwick the other night,
Oh, wow.
I did not realize that is a George Miller movie. Yes,
Really?
Mad Max, George Miller.
It is Mad Max's George Miller. It is a George Miller movie. His name popped up as director, and I'm like, really? and then I looked it up. It is Mad Max. It is what 3,000 years of longing. Almost Justice League's George Miller.
Yeah,
directed The Witches of Eastwick. So
there's supposed to be a documentary about them trying to make that film.
I want to
see it because
I know,
love
me
Jodorowsky's Dune documentary.
Exactly. Well, it's just really good.
Yeah, give it a shot. This talking about the Consultant. I mean, I don't know. Clay doesn't watch Prime shows anyway, so I don't think you would have watched it anyways. But thanks, Leonard Kim. Yeah, I'll finish it though.
I'll steal from Amazon, but I won't watch Amazon. I won't give them my money.
Do you want me to shift to comics real quick? And
yeah, we can transition to comics.
Yeah.
All right. I'll just show you because again, I picked up my books, but I've not had a chance to read them. So I'll just show you what I got this week, and then I'll end with the one that I did read that I know you read too, Danny.
Yeah, we can. We all read it. Okay, Captain
America, Sentinel of Liberty, still reading. Again, got the Invaders. I took a chance. I figured, why not? I'll check out I Am Iron Man.
I haven't read that, but I also picked it up. We did a preview for it on the channel because I think the creative team is really interesting. So
yeah, that's what I thought too. It's
Yeah, I'm gonna let you try to pronounce their names because I had a very.
God damn it! You really threw me under the bus here.
Sorry.
Marewa Ayadela and Dotun Akanda.
Yeah.
Akande.
Which I believe one of the two followed us on Twitter, so thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, again, please correct my
Yeah,
pronunciation.
we'll learn how to pronounce
I
it.
just
We promise.
fucking butchered it. I'm really sorry. I'm really happy this is back.
Fuck, this place is back. Yay.
So excited. So yeah, so this is back, starting a new arc. So really hyped to see what happens there, because it is such a good book. I mean,
Which
good.
is also Kyle Starks, right?
It's Kyle Starks. Speaking of, I picked up issue 2 of Where Monsters Lie. Again, haven't read it yet. Totally seems within both of your wheelhouses.
Yeah, I bought it when we had book club last week, that first issue, so I'll check it out.
Okay. I may just be buying these for the covers at this point. I really have no fucking clue what's going on in this book. But I'm sticking with it through hell or high water.
It's Ram V, so I think it's gonna come together. That's my hope.
Yeah,
that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Because I just all this stuff in it with
Harvey. No.
Although that's really cool. I've liked the Harvey plot. No, who are the space people? I'm really blanking here. The family of they're not elementals. What are they? Anyway,
I don't know. Don't
worry about it. Okay. The last issue of Sergeant Rock versus Army of the Dead. So Bruce Campbell.
Fuck yeah.
Pretty excited about this. So and then I took a chance on this one because it looked I'm going to say interesting. I suspect it's going to be horribly depressing, but that is Dead Fellows.
Oh, I saw that and I didn't grab it, but I think we might have a review copy. Let us know.
Oh, really? Okay.
If you like it, let us know, and then I'll send it to Clay.
All right, cool. That sounds good. But I did get a chance to read, based on Danny's suggestion last night, the final issue of Murder World.
Woo! Let's get into it.
Who did that cover? I didn't see that one.
This is... Hang on. No, I really did like this cover. This cover is...
Because I got the regular cover.
Yeah, I got the regular cover.
Ryan Gonzalez.
Cool. Oh, you also got the... Is that a Scotty Young for this one? Or is that a different issue?
I got a Scotty Young for the first issue.
Yeah, I think this was the only alt cover for this one, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the rest are the standard. All
right, so spoilers for Murder World.
Spoilers.
But I think once this is collected, it's going to be so much fun.
So, yeah. I will say... Oh, go ahead.
Real quick. They did this with Man Thing. They're doing it with Murder World. Do you guys like these issue 1, part of a series that all... Why do they do it and not put them together?
I hate it because it is... You can't... there are moments where I have to go look up what fucking order do I read this in. If you have the individual issues, because it makes no sense.
If you're buying them singles and you don't read it that same day, once you go back, you're gonna forget.
Yeah.
That was one of my problems.
There's no, I mean, except for this last issue, there's no organic way to know how this works. I can remember the first issue is Avengers.
It is in the credits. You have to find the small...
What? Really?
Yeah, there is an
in the indicia. Oh my god, who fucking designed this? Hang on. I can't even read that.
Oh, here it is. Down in the very, very bottom.
Yeah, I like everything about this book except
I see. Okay.
Except how it's presented.
Yeah.
Right.
And did the artist change on the last issue? The artist looked a little different, and
it did because I think Neto Diaz was only doing the layouts.
Okay, because I did really like this artist. Was it
Neto doing before? Clay, do you have the issues there? The previous one is it Neto Diaz doing the?
That sounds right.
The last issue?
No. The last issue he did layouts and then pencils and inks by Lorenzo Tometa. But in the first issue, who's the artist?
The first issue. They're all first issues.
Well, I hate you.
Problem.
Right?
That's the problem. Yes,
I hate you.
Jethro Morales.
No, I guess it changed. Maybe each issue had its own artist.
No, I don't think so, because the first 4 it looked pretty
Here,
consistent.
let me see. I think I have them on comics.
Yeah, the rest
Oh.
of them all list
So
are all the same on the cover.
Maybe it was just a time crunch. Like they just
what? Like they didn't know this book was happening? I hate.
No
that.
shit. That's the thing that bugs me.
Fair.
Fucking,
I hate.
you
Marvel.
know that they had meetings on this shit, and this is what they came to. Well, let's just make them all number ones, and if it's just Murder World, they'll know.
But I will say this: by the end of the series, I really liked what they pulled off here, because I distinctly remember looking at the original ad for Murder World Avengers, thinking, "Oh, this is gonna be cool. It's like Avengers fighting, arcade." And then you get into it and you realize it's something else entirely. And then by the end of it, I just, again, massive spoilers. So stop listening when I say this.
Yeah.
If you don't want it spoiled. Arcade is the protagonist in this book. This whole book is just about Arcade. And when you get to the end and you see how they're potentially setting up another miniseries, I'm like, fuck it, I'm in. This is great.
Yeah. But it also tells you to go back and read Black Widow from 2020, 1-5, that gives you her reason for being here, which is a weird.
And that was the Eisner nominated volume from Kelly Thompson.
Yeah.
It is so good. And yeah, once things click, it makes sense. So I do want to say, so it does look like each issue had its own artist.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so it was Farid Karami, Luca Pisari, Carlos Nieto, Jethro Morales, and then Neto Diaz. And
wow.
Then it seemed very similar.
It seemed very, very similar until
which is cool. I mean, I think that's a power within itself.
Absolutely.
Kudos to the well, we've been shitting on the editor a lot probably, but kudos to the editing team for finding 5 or 6 in this case, because we had 2 different artists on the last one. Kudos for finding multiple artists that their art is so similar. I think it also has a lot to do with I believe, who is it? Matthew Wilson did the colors. No, even the colors was different. Chris Sotomayor and
this was Matt
Miller and Chris Sotomayor did one. This is insane. Why do people read comics?
Yeah, I know. Marvel is making it so hard, which the story is great. Like after the first issue, I was in. Like I told you, I started reading it, and it's about an influencer. And I'm like, I'm not reading a comic about an influencer.
Right.
But the ending pays off.
Well, and I told you how that ending got ruined for me, right?
Oh, no.
When maybe you must not have been there the time I talked about it. I have a bad habit when I buy my Marvel books that I come home and the first thing I do is I try to redeem the codes.
Yeah.
And they put the code redemption page on the single page spread that spoils what happens. And I was like, what the fuck? Come on, Marvel.
Oh, dude.
Which again is 60% my fault, but still 40% theirs for putting it there.
For the game over?
No. In the first
previous one? Oh, in the first one. Okay, yeah. Because this one didn't even have. You have to do like the.
I had to do that with that one. So I've learned now. I flipped to the page, and then I flip it over so I don't see what happens on the the facing page. But God, I was so mad about that because it's such a shocking moment in that first issue.
It's so much fun.
That is the hook.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then it's very broken in the sense that like it wants you to believe that it's going to follow people like in the first episode, and then you get that ending, and then it goes to the next one, and it does a good job of kind of giving you an idea about these people, and that because Arcade used to always just run shit by himself. Am I wrong?
No, that's what it felt like. It felt like we never had a big like business side team, like a production company or something.
Yeah, but now he has like people.
Yeah,
which seems weird because Arcade was always just like doing shit himself. But I'm assuming if you had to build a giant pinball machine, you got to get contractors. You bring in special people who know this kind of shit.
If you want to scale your small business idea, you have to, delegate. You can't just do everything.
Well, but I think as a modernization of Arcade, it says a lot about how our perceptions. I'm going way off topic here. How our perceptions of evil have changed.
Yeah,
because the lone Arcade in the 70s and 80s was the norm for comic book bad guys, right? Like lone evil geniuses. And now it's like, no, it is basically a company, right? Yeah. They're the bad guy.
Capitalism is the bad guy.
Yeah, people will willingly work for murderers if it's a good pay and healthcare.
In healthcare.
This goes to show you that all people want is to be paid well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not
Who do you think pays better, Arcade or AIM?
Arcade. I think Arcade has better benefits.
Oh, see, I was gonna say I think Arcade pays better, but AIM has better benefits because they're a bigger corporation.
No, I feel like AIM is already too focused on the end goal, and they'll throw a pizza party for the employees and then tell them that's their benefits or whatever.
Yes,
they'll do like the Simpsons where they'll give you a keg if you forfeit the dental plan.
Yeah, if you try to, their form of union busting is just killing the workers.
Right. Yeah. Although, ironically, who has the worst benefits and pay? Hydra. And it's kind of in the name.
Yeah.
So,
you got to always have two there for the one that dies. So.
Exactly. I did also want to give huge credit to the fact that this is one of those rare books that does two things really well that's hard to do. And that is, until the end, I had no idea who was going to survive. Right. Yes. And I thought this is so hard to do. So huge props to Jim Zub for doing this. We often get characters' backstories in just like a page or maybe several panels, and he's still able to make every character make sense and feel fleshed out. And that is such a hard thing to do. So
it also almost feels like they were playing tag with the main character.
Yeah.
Because after every issue, you had to follow someone else.
Yep.
Which Arcade recreation was the best, and why is it Moon Knight?
It is Moon Knight.
It's Moon Knight because I feel like it captured Moon Knight's one of the voices.
Sure.
Yeah, that's good. I hadn't even thought of that. It is absolutely.
So the best tease about Murder World is it is just Murder World with heroes that are just life model decoys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and the life model decoys are like every version of Spider-Man, Wolverine. But in Moon Knight, he can only find one version, and it's not very good because he doesn't have enough information to make a Moon Knight life model decoy. So it's just a guy who screams moon things.
The moon moon punch.
That was the fucking best issue of the whole run.
I love that in the last issue we just see like there's a shot of the dead Moon Knight just spread out, pick it open with it with the cape like in the moon shape.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say that was the funnest book I've read in a long time. Just enjoyed the fuck out of it.
It's really good. It's really good. I think it's gonna be definitely a recommendation for me going forward because I'm a big fan of Arcade. If you haven't, I was gonna recommend something. Well, whatever. I read the Amazing Spider-Man Hunted because it's kind of like a because he's involved in that. And I'll say that much. I don't want to spoil. I didn't enjoy much of the Nick Spencer run, but that arc was really fun. So good. I'm glad we all enjoyed it because I had a really good time. Other than we enjoyed everything in between the pages, other than how the pages were laid out itself.
It's so infuriating. Infuriating.
It's such a good case of like we can spend the whole episode just exploring like all the things we love about the comics industry and how that book brings it all together, and all the things we hate about the comic book industry, and how this series also brings it all together.
Right.
Yep.
So weird.
This is also the perfect book to read month to month. Like it is structured like that. Mm-hmm. And they made sorry, my dog's going nuts. And they made it so hard to just walk into a store and be like, okay, which issue do I pick up now? I mean, it just made no sense. So anyway.
Yeah, if you read them out of order, it's very weird.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll not make sense.
It won't make
out
sense.
of order. I mean,
I mean, they'll eventually collect it in that.
Yeah, I was looking at the trade. So I mean, the trade is going to be. I'm sure it's going to be insane. I hope more people find it when it's collected. So
yeah.
I was going to ask. I know you guys are reading the Batman one shot. What is it? One
bad day.
One bad day. Aaron at my store was saying they're putting them out like in the trade quality, but they're also just reprinting them in a hardback, and they're putting a collection together, a boxed collection, so you can put all the hardbacks of One Bad Day into a set.
I didn't know that, and I'm gonna now pre-order it from my store because right now we're just getting the prestige format books.
It's the prestige,
Yeah, prestige. That's the format.
Yeah.
But they did a similar thing with the Master Race from Frank Miller.
Frank Miller.
What's the title?
God, yes. Oh,
I guess I'll just call it DK3 instead.
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Donkey
But
Kong
they did-
3.
they
I
did
love
the same-
Donkey Kong 3.
Drift
Yeah.
King 3.
They did the same thing where they released all the books and then they reprinted it, and then the covers aligned to do like this.
Like a big
It's really
image.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been looking for ways because I have a lot of framed covers, and I have like a few that are like sets that go together. I have a Marvel Knights and a Guardians, and I'm trying to find the best way to show them that maybe just isn't framed and put together, like one of each. Do you guys just frame stuff that you put up?
Man. So right now the only thing I have up as far as comics is the wall in my room of things that I taped to the wall.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't have a lot of stuff up in here yet. I need to redo.
Well, I've seen these cool like they go on the wall and they just basically hold the cover
Nice.
here and here.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that looks great. I'm going to try. I've seen them on sale on Etsy, and I thought about trying to print some when I get my 3D printer working.
Oh, nice.
But I did think maybe the framing is the only way to go.
You know, we when I curated the comic show up in Denton, what we ended up doing, we actually bought a ton of frames for stuff, but for stuff that wouldn't frame easily, my thinking was just getting a piece of plexi, and then getting like an L shape, nail that goes in to hold the plexi up, and then you could slide the comic.
Just drill a hole through the comic.
Yeah.
Dude, I will tell you, I went to a comic book store once.
No.
You're gonna fucking die. And they had a bunch of comics that they had 3-hole punched
Oh,
and
God.
put in a notebook. You want to know what it was? You want to know what series they had done this to?
No, I don't, but you're going to tell me anyway.
Stan Lee and Jack Kirby's Fantastic Four run.
Ah. What do you think? What do you think the grading drops to when there's a hole? When there's 3 holes in your comic?
Why? You
I
can,
know,
you can buy sheets you can slide them into and keep them in a notebook. Jesus,
He was selling them really cheap because they were hole punched, but they're holes in the book. Like, no.
Okay, wait. So the owner didn't do this. Like, did he just buy them from someone as a kid who like hole punched them?
I think they were from his collection because of most of the books in there he was trying to sell. And
Oh my God! Wow,
those were the best, but with the worst quality.
Damn.
Jesus Christ!
All right, we are at 2 hours, so I don't know how tired you guys are for time. We could definitely wrap things up here.
Yeah, I mean, the comics I'm reading, I'm still in the middle of. Like Lone Wolf and Cub is a great read while I'm watching Pedro Pascal save the world in 2 different shows.
yeah, and I got a bunch of comics that I read this week, but we can talk about that later.
I got a new card game.
Yeah,
Ooh.
let's do recommendations, and then I'll just throw my thing I want to talk about there.
All right.
So I guess I can start. So the thing I want to recommend is it's a book from Image by cartoonist Zoe Thurgood. It's called "It's Lonely at the Center of the Earth." It's an autobiographical book that follows Thurgood through like a 6-month journey.
Yes.
Right before the pandemic hit, I think that's when she started to kind of record her life. I will give a content warning for like some self-harm and suicide discussions. So she talks about that, and the book it's really well done and it's really good. And I think she's so upfront and honest with everything about her depression and her attempts at suicide that it almost feels intrusive to be reading this book.
Oh wow!
But I mean, I think also
That's a good creepy vibe to have, and
yeah, you get to experience kind of like um, what everything that she was going through, and then like I said, in the middle of the book, like COVID hits, and then things start like it's just a whole thing, and then she, or I guess no, I guess it was during COVID, and then when things were kind of reopening, because she does get to go to a few conventions and stuff. So it's very interesting. It's really well done. She's super talented. She also illustrated the book Rain based on the Joe Hill graphic book
Oh,
that they
okay.
adapted to a novel. And she's also very young. I think she's in her mid-20s. So like one of the points of the book is that people kind of keep calling her the future of comics, and how how you receive that as a creator. So it's very good. It's very well done. It's like a trade paperback that it retails for about like 15 or so. Um, it's yeah. It's we talked about it for book club at Boomerang last week, and it's man, we had a long discussion because it deals with a lot of like mental health and that, but also the like all the things that you can do in comics because it gets sort of like mixed medium at some points.
Oh, nice.
So it's yeah, super well done, really cool, and I think overall has a it ends on a more positive note. I think so that's always good to see and know for just as a creator or from to see about the creator. So yeah, so follow Zoe too on social media. She posts a lot of really cool things. But yeah, that's my recommendation. Lonely, it's lonely at the center, but it's spelled the British way because I believe that she's from the UK.
Okay.
So center of the earth.
Centre.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's my recommendation. Oh, what do you guys got?
I'm going to stick with Murder World Moon Knight because I just love that whole book. I know we just kind of talked about it and spoiled everything for it, but I just dig Arcade. Like he's just a fun villain because
I think you might like the
Hunted
Hunted story with the Spider-Man Hunted.
Okay,
Clay, check that out. See if it's your jam.
Yeah, and I really would love to see Seth Green play a live action Arcade.
Oh,
that'd be interesting.
I could see that. Unfortunately, they would cast Jesse Eisenberg, but I would rather see Seth Green.
There is a Jesse Eisenberg look to Arcade in the book a few times. He has the Lex Luthor hair.
Yeah.
Oh, that would drive me crazy because Arcane is nothing. He could not do the level of the insanity that is Arcane.
No,
like his Lex Luthor was. I mean, it was barely Stiltman.
Hey now,
in fact, Jesse Eisenberg would play Stiltman in the MCU. That's who I would cast him as. And you just see his legs.
I think he'd be a terrible Stiltman, if I'm being honest.
Stiltman, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, Stiltman.
All right. Well, my rec is one that I've actually been sitting on. I'm going to share my screen real quick.
You're sitting on it this whole time?
I am.
Uh-oh.
Boy, does my ass hurt. No, it okay, allow. It is, I totally stumbled on this and I don't even know how. This company called Shapeshift Records has only put out 2 records, but they tend to specialize in vinyl releases. But what they do is they take classic film albums and they have a composer who recomposes them in 16-bit audio. And the first one was Batman 89.
Okay.
The second one is Ghostbusters 2. And so they've released it on vinyl as River of Slime, but this is the first one they've released that they also have a digital edition for $20. And the thing I like about it is you not only get the album in MP3 and WAV format, it comes with a digital art book, some wallpapers. It comes with this video that oh shit, sorry. Whoa, that was loud.
Sorry. It's not that loud.
Not loud.
No, okay. It was very loud on my end, but it comes with this exclusive like 16-bit like video that looks like from a Ghostbusters 2 game we never got.
Yeah.
I posted that in our Discord chat. Interview with the DJ. It's just a fun thing. Now, I will say the personally, the album is a bit of a mixed
Multiverse again.
Oh no, Josh!
Wait, hold on. We're gonna have to go in search of.
Did Josh get
Search of Josh.
sucked in? Yeah, he got sucked into the quantum realm.
Oh fuck! We got to go in the quantum realm.
All right, let's do it.
All right, suit up.
I almost want to end the show before Josh gets back on.
I'm gonna put my helmet on.
Yeah.
I don't even have a helmet around here I can put on. And he's back.
So sorry. I was trying to quit the quantum realm from coming, and I clicked the wrong button.
You Cassied it.
I did Cassie it. No, I was gonna say that the album itself is a bit of a mixed bag. I think sometimes the 16-bit reinterpretation works, and it weirdly works with the songs from that era. So like the 16-bit version of the Ghostbusters theme is just slapping. Like it's really, really good. But then in your brain, just think about how the actual score to Ghostbusters sounds, which sounds very much like a 1980s comedy. And that doesn't always work in 16-bit audio. But for like $20, it's a fun package. So
is it like a MIDI file of music? Is it like that?
Yeah. So think of like slightly like higher quality, like 16-bit game music.
All I can think of is the Mario theme in the castle.
That's not bad. Think more like Super Metroid era audio, right? Like that kind of music. So
gotcha.
But anyway, so it's a fun package for $20, and you get a lot of cool extras. So
nice.
River of Slime is my recommendation.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks to everybody that watched. Leonard Kim for being in the chat. Anybody else that was kind of lurking. I see the numbers go up and down, so I don't know if sometimes people just watch. I know my buddy Jeff from Boomerang Comics. He sometimes watches just lurking.
Nice.
Or maybe he's working. I don't know. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, we got some new shows coming up. Go watch if you read Vanish, go watch the Ravens of Everkeep episode 1 is in the channel. So what we're gonna do with that is we're gonna catch up because issue 5 releases sometime later this month. So we'll do, and then after that it'll just become whenever the new issues are out, we'll do a new episode. And I might have a stream during the week to help my buddy Judah. He wrote a comic and it's funded on Kickstarter, but he's still promoting it because it's like it got funded like within 5 hours.
Oh,
which is insane. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's cool. I'm very happy for him, and it sounds really cool. So I might have a stream just to promote his stuff later in the week. We'll see, or maybe next weekend. I don't know. I don't know what we're doing next weekend, so we'll figure it out. And then, like I said, we got a new comics type of show where we talk about some of our favorite comics with a new content creator from TikTok. We'll talk about that. And then just the normal stuff, movie reviews, trailer. I'll probably do a Creed 3 review sometime this weekend.
I'm very curious. I'm very curious to see this.
I'm very excited. I love that whole franchise. So, and Michael B. Jordan, Jonathan Majors, what's her name? Tessa Thompson, Tessa Thompson. Her character's changed so much since we first met her in the first Creed movie. Anyways, but yeah, that's all. So yeah, thanks for everybody that watched. Like I said, we'll be relaunching our Patreon, some tiers. We got some new content that we shot right before this.
We want everyone to join us in the NIP Theater.
That's right. Oh boy,
the NIP.
That's how we get canceled.
Theater.
So yeah, very excited. So we'll put all that stuff out. Follow us on social media. We're very close to 1,500 subs too on YouTube.
Yeah.
So if you haven't subscribed, but we're not monetized yet. We haven't reached that. We need the video. What's it called? The watch hours, which that's a harder thing to get to. I think that's our next goal, to get the watch hours. So you may see some more longer live shows or stuff like that on the channel, just so we get that, hit all those goals that that YouTube keeps changing as we work. So, all right. Well, I think that's all. Anything else, guys?
Nope.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.
See ya. Josh is frozen.
Let's ride.
Thanks, everyone, for watching.
Loves you.
Oh, yeah. Clay?
Hell, Bebo.
Josh?
Simonson or get the fuck out.